This video is in partnership with www.nursingpersonalstatement.co.uk. Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Maria. In this video I'm going to provide 4 additional tips to help you with any nursing essays, any nursing presentations, any nursing assessments that you may have. If you want more videos like this, make sure you give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel for more videos like this, and once this video is over, go back to my channel page. You'll see a whole bunch of different videos in relation to writing a nursing essay successfully. So the first tip that I want to share with all of you guys, it's kind of taken us a step back from the presentation, the essay or assessment that we have in front of us, and that is to make sure you read the feedback from any previous essays or any previous assessments that you may have. Don't be like me and don't be stubborn away like, oh well, I got a first in this essay anyway, I'm just going to quickly skim over the feedback, I'm not really going to pay attention to it. By reading the feedback continuously and actually really studying the feedback that you receive, you may be able to identify themes. And I know some of you guys might be saying, oh my gosh, my lectures or however marked my essay is really crap at giving feedback. I can completely identify with you. I can completely understand and sympathize, you know, where you're coming from. However, make sure you still read it, whether it's 1 sentence or 2 sentences. I'm not just saying look at one feedback individually. Yes, that is helpful, but the more essays you do, the more assessments you do, you can collate all of that feedback together, and like I said, identify any themes that you may have and work on them. And you may also identify any strong themes or any themes that you may have that say, oh, actually Maria is actually really good at doing this in this essay, this in this essay, and this in this essay. So it's not always just a negative thing in terms of, oh, all your lecturers and all your essay feedbacks are saying that this is bad. It could just be a case of, oh, actually this is actually a strong point, this is actually something that I'm really good at. Maybe I don't have to place as much energy on this in my next essay, and then I can use that same energy to work on and to improve things that, you know, previous feedback has said that I need to work on. The second tip that I want to share with you all when it comes to preparing and writing your nursing essay, assessments and presentations is to understand that introductions and outroductions are not the same. Guys, they are not the same. They are 2 completely different things. I know that the intro goes at the beginning and the outro goes at the end, and generally people think, oh, because they're just kind of like a tiny paragraph at the beginning and a tiny paragraph at the end, that means I can put the same thing. No, don't do what I did in, I'll probably say like maybe the first quarter or the first third of first year. I was just pretty much putting the same thing in my intro and my outro. And then I remember like one time I spoke with a couple of friends just about, you know, what is it you put in your intro and your outro? This is what it was. I was actually in 2nd year and I was phoning my friend up and we were just talking about an essay, and she was really struggling with her conclusion. And I was like, mate, conclusions are so easy to write. Just pretty much do the same thing you did in your outro. And she was like, no, Maria, like it's not that. And then, you know, I looked more into it and realized that, wow, really, intros and outros aren't the same thing. I do have a video, I'll link it up here, where I basically went in depth about what to include in an introduction. So because I've already got that video talking about what to include in an introduction, right now I'm going to very briefly, very quickly talk about what to include in your outroduction. Now, when I think of outroduction, the first word that comes into mind is implications, implications, implications. What are the implications of what you've included in your essay or in your presentation? What are the implications of what you've discussed in this piece of work that you have in front of you? And when I think of the implications, the word implication, Google is telling us an implication is the conclusion that can be drawn from something although it is not explicitly stated. So you may be thinking, oh, it's so obvious that this is the implication. Oh, it's so obvious that this is the outcome. No, make sure you include that in your conclusions. And when I think of implications, I like to split it into 4 sections. Triple PS. If you watch the video that I've just linked, you know exactly what I'm talking about. P, what is the personal implication? The other P, what is the political implication? The third P, what is the professional implication? And the first S, what is the social implications? Not all of those points, triple PS, will be relevant to your essay or your presentation or your assessment, but it may be relevant. If it is, make sure you include that. I do want to say, when writing your conclusion, do not include any new information. You can do like a feed forward. For example, you can say, in light of this, then this may need to be explored further. But generally, do not include any new information. I had a habit of doing this. Do not do it. Sentence starters that may be helpful when writing your conclusion could be an implication of this, moving on from this, in conclusion, for this reason. One more thing that I want to add when it comes to writing your conclusion is that your conclusion is basically a summary of everything that's happened. It is basically a long story short. You see, when you're, you know, chilling with your mates and they're like, oh my gosh, this happened, and you're like, tell me, and they're like, nah, it's long, and then they're just like, okay, let me just keep it short, let me just tell you the long story short, and they basically summarize a whole day of events in like literally 2 minutes. That is what you want to do in your conclusion. And let's just say your friend, you know, summarizes this whole story in 2 minutes, and then she comes back and adds like a cliffhanger, and is like, oh yeah, but he said this, but then she doesn't expand on it, or she never really talked about it when she was talking about, you know, what was really going on. You're going to be left with a cliffhanger. Same thing with the person who is marking your assessment. If you then introduce like a cliffhanger or a new information, which is basically a cliffhanger in your conclusion, they're going to be thinking, hold up. You never told me this last week. You never put this in the main body of your assessment. Why is it you're including it now? So yeah, that is what I want to say about conclusions. Understand that introductions and conclusions are not the same. If you do want more information about what to include in an introduction, like I said, I will put the video up in the eye up here or on this side, and I'll link it in the description box below. However, if you do want me to do a video where I just solely focus on introductions and outroductions, then let me know. I'll let you guys know what to put in an introduction, what to put in an outroduction, what is similar, what is different, and you know, basically how to write it. Before anybody asks, I will say that like your introduction, your outroduction should be anything from 10 to 15% of your overall word count. Like I did say at the beginning of this video is in partnership with www.nursingpersonalstatement.co.uk. So if you do need any additional help with any nursing assessments or with your personal statement, then make sure you visit that website. The third point, the third tip that I want to share with you all when it comes to writing your nursing essay, when it comes to, you know, preparing a body of work, is to make sure you seek additional help if you feel that you need it. And when I say additional help, I mean additional help in terms of the fact that your university or your academic institution, they may have an academic hub. I know that at my university we had an academic hub, and when I first looked at it on the website, I was like, oh, this academic hub is probably just for, you know, students who study English. It's probably just for, you know, really academic students, you know, who like to study politics or law or whatever. And I thought, you know what, Maria, let me just bite the bullet, let me just see what it is that they can help me with. So I went to the academic hub and I told them, like, hey, sometimes I link my paragraphs really well, sometimes I do a really bad job at it and I have no idea why. Can you help me to, you know, link my paragraphs really well? And when I tell you that this lady, I had 2 sessions with her, this lady literally sat down with me for like an hour to 2 hours at a time, telling me word for word, this is what you need to do. You need to include A, B, and C. And for those of you who have watched my my first nursing videos centered around nursing essays, which I probably released about a year or 2 ago, you'll know that I am a fan of acronyms and I am a fan of formulas. This lady was able to literally sit down with me, give me a formula, and basically tell me that if you do what I am telling you to do, guaranteed, every time you're writing an essay, every time you're preparing a body of work, the paragraphs and these sections will link. And I can, like, honestly guys, I'm a big believer of specialists. If you're struggling with anything, just go directly to a specialist. They can tell you what it is that you need to do. So yeah, the third point in conclusion is to seek additional help if you feel that you need it. The fourth and final tip that I want to share with you all in this video when it comes to writing or nursing essay or preparing any body of work, I'm just going to say one word. Or 2 words. Past papers. That's what I'm going to say. Joking, I'm not going to leave you hanging like that. Past papers. I know a lot of you guys watching this video, you would have done your GCSEs, you would have done your A-levels, and I can guarantee at least 99% of you all who have done your GCSEs and or A-levels must have or will have referred to past papers at some point during that paper. And you yourself, you know how helpful those past papers were. You yourself know how helpful it was to review, you know, past papers that they submitted a year before you actually did your work, or 2 years before you actually did your work or your test. Do not lose this habit when you're at university. Keep past papers at the forefront of your head. you go to your friend and be like, hey, I got 60% in this essay. I heard through the grapevine that you got 100%. Do you mind if I have a read of your essay? Are you able to email it to me? Or can we meet up in the library where I can just kind of read your essay and see what it is that you've included or what it is that you didn't include? That's basically an example of a past paper. And as I'm saying this, I don't mean just go to a random person that you've never spoken to before and be like, oh my gosh, Sandra, I heard you got 100%, can I read it? No, you have to have some sort of rapport with a person. I know with one of my assessments, I think it was like a case study, I think I got anything from 60 to 70%, but one of my good mates, she got 100% in it. And I was like, raw, like, Chloe, like, how did you get 100%? How did you actually get 100%? And you know, I quickly went through her work and I could see, I went through her work and I could see what it is that she included. So I knew that, you know, next time I've got a case study to do, I'm not only going to do what I did because I know I got a okay grade, I'm going to try and incorporate some of what Chloe did because I know she got 100%. So that's what I mean about, you know, using past papers. Anyway, I hope this video was super helpful for you. I hope it wasn't too echoey because you guys are literally situated in my bathroom and I'm just about on the edge of the door. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. If you want more videos like this, give this video a thumbs up and make sure you visit www.nursingpersonalstatement.co.uk. Thank you guys for watching. Bye. Peace.